I'm performing with 17. Hey, what's up guys? It's your girl Robin coming at you. I'm a polar bear! And as you can see, I'm wearing a onesie because I'm a child. Today's video, I'm going to be talking about some more of my weird K-pop dreams. Ever since I uploaded that one about Jinyoung being my boyfriend, I've had like 10 more dreams since that video that are so weird, and I picked the top 2 that I personally like because they're weird and stupid and have no plot or meaning. And yeah, so let's get on with the storytelling. So the first one I'm going to talk about is GOT7. It's another GOT7. It's another GOT7. So GOT7 comes back to the US and, you know, they have another like US fan meeting, but they do it at my school gym, okay? What? And the gym is filled with students from my school that are GOT7s, and then Aaliyah. If you guys don't know Aaliyah, she used to be on the channel long ago. So yeah, she was also there with me, along with my friend Raven. And we're over there flipping out. Before we got to our seats, they were handing out raffle numbers, and we all got raffle numbers. So we were all sitting there, right? And GOT7 comes out, everyone screams. I'm like in shock because I'm seeing them again. So they started off by calling out the raffle numbers. So each member picked a raffle number, and mine was like the 3rd or 4th one to be called. And I didn't decide to go the short way to get down. I decided to go the long freaking way to get down. So I went the long way to get down from the bleachers, and I went to GOT7. And we ended up taking a picture with them. Okay, cool, another picture of GOT7. Ah! So we ended up taking a picture with them, right? And this girl like pushed me so she could be in front of Jinyoung. So I was like next to Jackson and Jinyoung. And I was practically in front of Jackson, and Jackson was like holding onto my shoulders. And he goes, "You look familiar." And I'm like, "Yeah, I do YouTube stuff." And he goes, "Oh, reaction girl," you know, and I'm like, great. You know, whoop-de-doo, they know who I am. So then after they take the picture, we all start going back to our bleachers. And then Jackson starts calling out names of students that are present to come down to the floor so they can do something else. The first name they call is me. It's me. And all of GOT7 made a big deal about it whenever he was like, "Oh, Robin Rush." And like you could hear like Jackson and the mic go, "Oh, that's her name." And then all the members were like, "Oh, K-pop 101" and stuff like that. And I'm over here like practically to the bleachers, going back on the long way. And I hear my name and I go, like, I practically fell to the ground, like, oh my god. And I remember like my tennis team, like no one on my tennis team likes K-pop, but I remember seeing their faces and then just laughing at me like, great. I like did my whole little thing, flipped out, and they called the rest of the people. It was like a total of like 7 people. I was the last one to get there. And everyone was like, come on, hurry Robin, gosh. We don't keep you waiting that long for a music video, stuff like that. Like they were teasing me. And I'm just like, oh, why did I start YouTube again? Why? But yeah, so that all happens. So then we're on the other side of the gym, right? And GOT7's facing us. Because like, here's us, GOT7's in the middle, and then the bleachers are over here. GOT7 is facing us. So, we're all just like looking at GOT7 like, oh my god. And then, I don't know why, but they were like school desks on the side. So it's like, us, GOT7, bleachers, and then on this side of the bleachers, like over by us, there are desks. Mark was sitting there, and I was curious to why. I think he was like injured or maybe sick, so he couldn't end up doing what they were doing. GOT7 ends up kind of performing, not really performing, but dancing to their songs. Their songs come on. First song is Hard Carry, obviously. And I remember all the fans scooted back. Like, they were like, oh, like, they were all in shock. And me, I pushed to the freaking front. I was like, nah fam, I'm watching this in the front. You know, and I'm tall. So everyone was pretty pissed off that I was in the front, but I was just like, y'all really want to move back, hello. So, I was watching this. And this is when I noticed that Mark wasn't dancing with them because there was like a gap where Mark would be dancing. I was like, why isn't Mark dancing? You know, and I look over and see Mark just kind of sitting there and I'm like, what? So, me being me, the dancer I am, decides to go take Mark's spot. I was just like, I need to remember, like, this is what was going through my head. This was my mentality in my dream. This needs to be so much better than Dallas. We need, like, I need to, like, do something memorable, stuff like that. And obviously, everyone's recording this pretty much. So I decide to go take Mark's spot because there was a gap. And luckily, most of the, like, on most of the dances but hard carry, I learned Mark's part. So, your girl was good. I was like, okay, I'm gonna go take Mark's spot. So, I think the next song that came on was like A, you know, and this is when I started hesitating to go in. Because they didn't really, they were kind of doing like a mashup, or a medley. So, it went to hard carry and then A, and then girls, 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 you know, and I'm just like, I'm gonna go eventually. And then Dadawa, or Follow Me, comes on, right? And this is when I decided to run and go take Mark's spot. So I ran to Mark's spot, started doing the dance, and if you guys didn't know, Jin Young actually came up with the choreography for this dance. And, well, he's my bias. So, I went to Mark's spot, and all the members didn't really notice me until, like, past a quarter of the song. So I started doing the dance and stuff. And then J-Bomb got really shocked that I knew the dance, and he goes, oh, and stuff like that. And then Bam Bam's like, you know this? And I was like, oh, like, yeah, I know this. So then we're just doing the dance, right? And we're doing that a lot, we're doing this, right? And then all of a sudden, we got 7, I remember Jackson saying, turn around. So, which meant that instead of performing in front of the 7 fans, we'd be performing in front of everyone in the bleachers. So we all started to turn around, right? Oh my god, this is fangirl moment. We all started to turn around, right? And Jin Young, he was wearing a jacket and with the hood, right? Kind of like this. But his hood looked really awkward. It didn't look like this. It looked really awkward. So while we were turning around and Jin Young was passing me like this, like he didn't even acknowledge my existence until after I did this. He was passing me like this. I noticed that his hood was like messed up. So I started fixing it for him. He turns around, gives me like an evil look for like 0.3 seconds, and then smiles, grabs my freaking wrist like this, and then goes into my hand and does this. I'm still fangirling about this, oh my god. So he does this, and then goes into this, drags me to the front, and says, dance. And I was like, bitch! So then, what song came on? Dr. Wah, Just Right came on, so I started dancing to Dr. Wah, right? And he's over here just staring at me. And this is the dance that I mostly do, Jin Young, and then Mark. So, during some of the song, I was like, telling Jackson, I was like, Jackson, you gotta tell Jin Young that I only know his part, you know? So Jackson goes and tells Jin Young that I know his part. So he just steps out like this, right? He steps out like this watching me, and I'm like doing Jin Young's part, and all of GOT7 is in shock. They just all stop dancing to watch me. Freaking Jin Young comes over, whispers in my ear, oh my god, you're a good dancer, and my dream ends. Like, the fangirliness there is real. So, yeah, that's my first dream. That was my dream with GOT7. Now I have a second one, and it involves 17. So, my 17 dream. It's so weird. The setting is weird. Okay, so we're at the ag farm. Now, if you guys don't know what an ag farm is, it's legit agricultural farm, like where you like raise livestock and stuff. I mean, I have a goat, so I have to go there every day. One day I went to go feed my goat, and it was nighttime, so I went to go do that. My friend Shyla, she's really like, she's a K-pop fan. I don't know if she knows 17 because I haven't really talked to her that much about 17. But she knows K-pop, and we were there, and there's a building, like, there's a building on the farm that's like where show happens, like where the stock show happens, where you show your animal. So there's a big building, and then there's like a little like awkward space in between that building and then my teacher's house, because my teacher lives on the property, and it's outside obviously. So for some reason there's like a whole like living area right there. In that awkward little space between like the road, the building, and then my teacher's house. So there's like a living area. There's a couch, coffee tables, and like a mini fridge. What? I don't know. Like what the hell? So me and my friend Shyla, after we feed my goat, we decided to go sit on the couch. I don't know why. And we were talking about something. I don't remember exactly what we were talking about, but I remember she hitting my arm. She's like, hey. I'm like, what? She goes, that's Hoshi. Like saying that's Hoshi. Like really quietly because she didn't want them to hear us. Or him to hear us. She's like, hey, that's Hoshi. And I like looked and I didn't see him. I was like, that's not Hoshi. Hoshi's in Korea, you know. Then next, Wooji comes walking by, and I knew it was Wooji because of how small he is. I saw Wooji walk by, and I go, oh my god, that's Wooji. I was like, girl, that's Wooji. So Wooji went to the building with Hoshi, and then next was Mingyu and Wanwoo. They both came by, acknowledged us, like did their little bow, and then walked in. And I think the rest of the members were inside. And me and Shyla, we were like, what the hell is going on? Why is 17 here? Like, are they cosplayers? Like, we were like trying to rationally think, why is that 17? Why are they here in America? Why are they in Lubbock? You know? Why are they here? And all of a sudden, oh my god, Wooji, Hoshi, Dokyeon, and Koops, they all come out and they're like, 안녕하세요. And I replied back, 안녕하세요. Shyla doesn't really know Korean that well, but I know Korean. So I was like, oh, 네, 안녕하세요. Koops, and the cutest little voice ever, goes, can you not take pictures of us and stuff while we're getting ready? And we just kind of looked at each other and we're both like, for what? And they're like, we're having a concert in there, didn't you know? I mean, we, Wooji and Hoshi heard you two like saying that's Wooji, that's Hoshi. And I just like look at Shyla and I was like, and then I look at Koops and I'm like, you're having a concert here? And Koops was like, oh babe. And I'm like, 진짜요? Like in complete shock, like oh my god, why? So they're like, 네. Then the rest of 17 comes out. Oh my lord. Who was it? I think it was V8. V8 said, please don't take pictures of us. We're just out here to chill. Me and Shyla, we look at each other, we look at them, we're like, 괜찮아요. And then I go, 난 사생 팬도 아니에요. I'm not a Saseng fan. I had to say that. Absolutely had to say that so they know I'm not weird. And yeah, I was just like, 난 사생 팬도 아니에요. Like, I'm not a Saseng fan. You can count on me like, 괜찮아요. I said, 괜찮아요. 난 사생 팬도 아니에요. All of them laughed and they were like, oh, thank God. You know, like, ah, yay! Like, they were all excited. Then they decide to sit with us. Can you please tell me how that is not like... Wow. Okay, so Shyla was like with Mingyu, Wanwoo, and V8 and Hoshi. I ended up being with Hansel and Jisoo, or Vernon and Joshua. So I was freaking nervous to like sit next to them, like next to them, because like they were sitting like actually on the cushions, and there was room for tiny little me because I felt so small. Except with Wooji. Like, I felt so small except when I was like standing next to Wooji and Sungkwon. Like, I felt so small. Jisoo and Hansel were sitting on the couch, right? And I'm like sitting on like the what is it called? Like the armrest part? You know, I'm sitting there like all together kind of like in a ball. Like, I'm like, what the hell is going on here? And Hansel just kind of like looked at me, he goes, you can sit right here. And I just went, I was like, nah fam, I'm good, I will sit right here, you know, in my little ball. So then Hansel scoots over a little bit, cause like he was like crowding all over Jisoo. So then Hansel scoots over, and Hansel's like 3 inches away from me, and I'm like, flipping shit, I'm like, oh my god, like, what is this? And I'm not, like, Hansel's not even one of my biases. I would love to befriend him so much. Like, oh my god, I feel like we would be best friends. So, I'm over here, like, freaking cringing myself into a ball. Hansel's right here, like literally right here, and Jisoo's like a body person over. And me and Hansel were having a casual conversation like we have been friends for 15 plus years. Like, what is this? And in English. So obviously all the like Korea members were like staring at us like, what? They're having a legit conversation. I don't even know how Shyla was talking to Mingyu, Wonu, and V8 to VH. I think it's because V8 was there, so V8 kind of understands English. But like, I was having a casual conversation with Hansel. You know, I was acting like he was like one of my really good guy friends because like, I just start hitting him. Like, cause I always hit my guy friends, I don't know why. I just always hit them. I guess it's a girl thing, I don't know. I don't hit them hard, and it's not like I'm flirting with them. It's just like, I hit them. Like, I will push/hit anyone next to me if I think something is funny. Like, it doesn't matter if I like you or not, I will do it, because it's just how I am, that's my personality. So he says something funny and I like push him and like hit him and stuff, and all the members are watching us. And then I remember, I think it was June, he was like, have you guys been friends forever? And I like looked at him and I was like, Anil? Like, this is my first time meeting him. And they're just like, they were like, really? I'm like, oh. And Hansel's just like, I feel like we've been friends for years. Someone's like, same here, bro. So Hansel said something like, I don't know what he said, but he said something that got Jisoo's remark. And at this point, I completely forgot Jisoo was existent. Jisoo is my ultimate bias from 17 and my third ultimate, like, in all of K-pop. So I completely forgot Jisoo ever existed. Wasn't paying attention whatsoever to him. Mainly because he was wearing a hat. And I don't know why, but my mind, when I see Jisoo wearing a hat, it reminds me of June wearing a hat. So obviously I get the two mixed up. I don't know why my mind does that. And, you know, I didn't really, like, say anything because, like, June is my second bias in 17. So I was just kind of like, I was still kind of like, eh. I mean, I can talk with anyone who's not my bias. Pretty much. Unless you're Team Tom, I don't know how I got the guts to do that. You know, I was just having that casual conversation. He says something remarking that made Jisoo remark something. He goes, hey, stop. Like, hey, stop it. Duh, duh, duh. Like, he said something. I can't remember exactly what he said, but I remember him saying stop it. And Hansel was kind of like forward, and Jisoo was like laying back on the couch, and he said that and completely moved his body towards Hansel and goes, hey, stop it, blah, 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 blah. And then I see Jisoo's wonderful, amazing little face. And then I was holding in my scream. I was like I couldn't spaz. I couldn't do my spaz. Because I didn't want to seem like the freaking fangirl fan. So I was like keeping it in. I was like biting everything. And Hansel was like, he notices and he goes, what? And I'm just like, I couldn't say anything because Jisoo was like a foot away from me. So I couldn't say anything. I was flipping shit. Literally flipping shit. I was like, oh my god, oh my god, oh my god. You know, trying not to say anything. And Hansel just like looks at Jisoo and then looks at me and goes, he's your favorite member, huh? And I just went, like, not dead, yes, like, yeah. And Jisoo was like, really? Jisoo was like, I have a fan. Yes, Jisoo, you are Christ. We need Jisoo in our life. Jisoo, take the wheel! So, yeah, Jisoo was like, I have fans, and I was like, yes, you're my religion. Hansel just dies of laughter. June overheard it. June was dying of laughter. V8 overheard it. He was dying of laughter. And all the Korean members were like, what? So then Hansel explained it. Jisoo was embarrassed. I went and hid behind the couch because I was so embarrassed. And all the members just started dying of laughter. And then I eventually got my like courage to get up from behind the couch. I get up and go sit next to Hansel again. I was debating about sitting next to Jisoo, but after making that remark, I couldn't do it. And everyone was just like, why did you say that? I'm like, it's a thing within the fandom. People will say that Jisoo is like our religion because like he's holy and, you know, Jisoo and Jesus kind of have like the same name and stuff like that. And they're all like, oh, so it's within the fandom, and I'm like, oh. After 17 stopped judging me after like I explained that to them. Jisoo comes over and gives me a freaking hug. Jisoo comes over and gives me a freaking hug. Life. Gave me life. Oh my god. I'm over here, I hugged Jisoo, and he was a little bit taller than me. I thought Jisoo was like my height, but apparently not. He was a little bit taller than me. He comes over, gives me a hug. All 17 sees this and they're like, ooh, and I'm just like, please stop. Like, I looked at them and I was like, Hajima! Like, Hajima! I was like, Hajima, come on, Jisoo! Like, I was like telling them to stop. And then they all decided to get really shocked because they realized that I know Korean. And they're just like, oh, 한국어도 알아요. And I'm like, all day. Like, all day. And they're just like, 인상, which means introduce yourself. So all of 17 is freaking lined up in front of me at this point. And I'm like, oh my god, my life. But then my 인상, and my introduction is, 네, 안녕하세요, 라빈이라고 해요. 저는요, 8살입니다. And they all just like look at me. Then Dino decides to go, we're the same age, and I was like, no, we're not, child. I really don't. No, we're not, child, because Dino is a year younger than me. I'm 18 in international age, and then he goes, oh, because he didn't know, like, I think he didn't know about the international age. And then they were just like, you know your Korean age? I was like, 네, 나 19살입니다, which means I'm 19 in Korea, because I am 19 in Korea. And they were like, oh, like really shocked, and they're just like, did you recently have your birthday? I was like, 네. And so, yeah, they were all shocked. Fernando was like, I'm barely older than you. I was like, yeah, you're 9 months older than me. And he goes, really? I was like, yeah, because you're born in February, right? He was like, yeah. I was like, I'm born in November. And he goes, when was your birthday? I was like 2 weeks ago. I was like, 2 weeks ago. And then they started singing happy birthday. And I sang it to your God. I was like, oh my god. I really don't like it when people sing me happy birthday, by the way. I hate it. You go back to like talking, and then eventually I start talking to Hoshi, Chonghan, and Wonwoo. I started talking to them, you know, in Korean. I don't remember what I was saying. I was just saying random crap. And then they're just like, do you know any dances to 17? Like, do you know any of the dances? I was like, 네. And they asked me to dance, and I did. I danced to Manse. Manse, yeah. Manse! Like, that's what I was like practically saying this whole time. I danced to Manse. They were all very impressed. And then the big question came up. Jisoo, Lord save me, decides to ask me if I wanted to perform with 17 at their concert that they were apparently having in the building. And then all of a sudden these two girls that are practically like that are kind of in my act class come out and go, hey guys, you have 2 minutes left, you better hurry up and like get ready and stuff like that. I don't know why they were there. They asked me to perform with them. I say, of course, because like who wouldn't want to perform with 17? So I was like, oh, okay. They're like, okay. And Shayla, Wonwoo like gave her like front row so she could watch. And oh my god, Jisoo decides to do the whole inner fangirl. Okay, while we were walking into the building, Jisoo, my life story. Jisoo decides to do this whole thing, you know, with the girl with the arm and the round and the right here, you know, that whole thing. He decides to do that thing with me. Why? My boyfriend is Jin Young. I can't believe I just said that. Okay, but he decides to do that. Hansel looks at him, he goes, no, no, and then does it to me! And like they both do it to me, and I'm over here crying. Freaking Hansel stops, looks at me and goes, why are you crying, girl? And I was like, my heart wasn't ready. Obviously, my heart's not ready for a lot of things. I was like, my heart's not ready. I go to the floor like crying. All of 17 just stops and turns around and looks at me and starts dying of laughter. I'm like, please stop laughing at me. Like, I can't do this anymore. I can't. We went inside the building, and what did we do? They already had like an outfit ready for me. You thought. They already had an outfit ready for me, and then like my life couldn't handle. And this is why I want Hansel to be my best friend. Cause then he comes up to me and I'm like nervous because this is like the first time I've ever performed dancing like on a like on a stage. Cause I've never done that before. He comes over and he goes, "It's alright, just don't think about it, blah blah blah," like acting like I'm a friend, like a member of 17. Hansel, if you're watching this, please be my friend. And yeah, I go on stage at 17. First song they perform is Boom Boom, and I obviously don't know the hell of that song, but apparently in my dream I did. And I danced to Boom Boom, and that was the end of my dream. I got to perform with 17. And God, like life. What in the right of mind gave Hansel and Jisoo the right to do the couple hug thingamabobber? I don't even know what the hell this is called, cause I do it to my friends all the time, but I don't know what it's called. But freaking life, they decided to do that to me. Excuse you, sirs, but hey, Hansel, if you're watching this, please befriend me. I can't even take myself seriously right now, but like, I feel like out of everyone, I feel like I could be really good friends with Hansel, Jisoo, and then Mark from GOT7. So yeah, those were my dreams. They're very weird, I realize. If you guys have any weird K-pop dreams, write them down in the comments below. I want to make sure that I'm not the only one who has these weird dreams. And if you guys want to hear some more of my weird K-pop dreams, be sure to like this video. And yeah, be sure to like and subscribe to become a #1 today. Be sure to follow me on social media. And I'll see you all in the next video. Annyeong! Please befriend me, Hansel! And Jisoo. And Mark. Oh well. My contact information is down in the description below. Oh my lord, Robin, stop. If they did ever watch this, they'd probably be like, I don't want to be friends with this weirdo. Good choice.